Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network production of Monday Night Mayhem. The Moonlight Racing League has come live to Miami Homestead Speedway for the Steve Lewis 9 202.5. That's right, you heard it correctly. The Steve Lewis 9 202.5. We're too wide in the booth tonight, as always. Me and Gene Money alongside my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella. It's round number 4 of our 13-race regular season. 3 winners in the previous 3 weeks. Will we get another qualifier for the round of 12? Zach, lots of cars gritting up, lots of late sign-ups as well. This field growing to about 30 or more.
Yeah, this is easily the biggest field we've had this late in the season, me and Gene. Week 4 here at Miami Speedway in the MRL Monday Night Cup Series. And this season, or I'm sorry, this field still well over 20, which is rare but so welcome. Seeing some familiar faces, some new faces, and some faces we haven't seen in a minute. And that, I don't think I can pick a better track than Miami for this. Let's get the Steve Lewis 9 202.5 get going.
Last week, Iowa 32 drivers did battle, and we saw the coming out party of Nate Lesko, the number 10 Toyota rookie, putting up his first win of the year. Behind him, week 1 winner and champion Colin Bollinger had to watch as Lesko crossed that start-finish line at Iowa in the lead. Third place last week, Grant Applegate. Applegate, of course, defending Rookie of the Year, defending playoff champion. Points on the board, but it's the King of the North on the top, Colin Bollinger. Remember, this is a win and you're in. So the wins by Bollinger, the win by Iverson last week, 2 weeks ago at Talladega, and last week's Iowa win by Lesko put them in as long as they reach the 9-race minimum for qualification. Other fast movers on that list, look at Daniel Plant Smith jumping up 14 spots, as he is 1 race behind the maximum, but well ahead of the other drivers with only 2 starts. Other big jump, how about Buddy Sully jumping up 12 spots? Looks like some of that rust is coming off of the Season 3 champion.
Yeah, and me and Gene, not just that, I think the rust really is coming off. I think you're on to something, because Buddy Sully, gonna get you guys a good look at him right now on track, is currently sitting on the preliminary pole, and we're about halfway done with qualifying, me and Gene. Wow, what would that be like to see Buddy Sully back on the front row to start a race? And not just that, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the site of his last MRL championship.
It could be, of course, Homestead being one of the former locations of the championship. Championship this year gonna be at Kentucky, but as Zach said, Sully with the dub at Homestead before. Now, last year, it was a round of 12 elimination race, and we saw Colin Bollinger take the win. Michael Mata, Kevin Kyle joining him on that podium. Fastest car in practice, rookie Jay Dargert. Dargert in the number 59 Marines ride. Today, let's see what he can put up in a qualifying lap. Grant Applegate now takes over that pole position. Well, you know, and Applegate's got 2 poles in 3 races, so not a surprise to see the speed out of that 14.
And then this guy right here, Matt Novello. This is one of his favorite racetracks, Mean Gene, and what makes Matt Novello so dangerous here is his ability on the long run. It's really the best way to conserve your tires here at Miami is to be able to use that bottom line and be patient throughout the entire run. As Plant Smith goes around during qualifying, that is going to admire him far back in the field, Mean Gene. But back to Matt Novello real quick. He currently is sitting in 3rd place in qualifying. That is an exceptional starting position for Novella, somebody who I think you will already see as one of our fast long run cars. Doesn't have to worry about working through the field today.
Matt Novella, really an anomaly on the track. Able to get to the front right when you count him out. We've seen him go 3 laps down, come back, get a podium finish. That number 56, somebody you got to watch the entire race, regardless of if you're at a super speedway, intermediate, or a road course. Rookie Jason Rochelle finishing up his run. And here's the Undertaker, Tony Iverson, putting a run out there today. Big shout out to Tony as he's come aboard as one of the VRN sponsors. The Highside Hustler Motorsports driver is going to sponsor our post-race show. So big shout out to Tony. Got to thank him. Also, while we're shouting out sponsors, how about our series sponsor, Fish Speed? That's right, Jordan Fisher, last year's phenom, with a consortium of drivers in Discord using Garage 61 to improve their abilities and share that knowledge with anyone who joins. Fish Speed sponsoring Monday Night Mayhem all year long. Qualifying has wrapped up. Let's take a look at the top of the board. And with his third pole in 4 races, Grant Applegate gonna take that award. Joining him on the front row, Highside Hustler Buddy Sully. Second row, Matt Novella starting in 3rd. Nate Lesko, last week's winner, starting in 4th. Firing off from the 5th position, gonna be Tony Iverson. Joining him on the 3rd row, Jonathan Case Beer in 6th, the number 73 MC Motorsports star. Teammate Michael Mata will start in 7th, joined by Team Delusional star Rayshawn Winkfield in the 4th row from the 8th position. Eric Thornton and Wyatt Mickelson gonna start on the 5th row. Mickelson ditching that rookie number and picking up the coveted number 51. Ryan Holla gonna be starting in 11th here today, joined by Joe Volpis. League sponsor Eric Gambrell sponsoring today's race, gonna fire off in the 13th position. Jay Stimson joining him on row 7 with that number 60 car. John Beverly, the commish, starting in 15th, and Daniel Plant Smith gonna be starting in 16th.
In 17th, we got Craig Schroeder. Next to him will be Lucas Alves. He'll be doing double duty here today. He was in the DDIRL ARCA race. Zach Lawson will be in 19th. Brandon Guerin, the commish, will be in 20th. Jay Dargert will be starting in 21st. Steve Lewis, the title name driver for this race, will be starting in 22nd place. How much meat will we eat today? We'll find out. The rookie Jason Rochelle will be in 23rd, but he is not at the speed of a rookie. He's going to be up front in no time. Past champion of this series, Jack Sanders will be in 24th. The returning daily driver, Zinc driver, Matthew Skirtzowick, will be starting in 25th. Colin Bollinger, the points leader, in 26th. Next to Bolander, that is a common thing right there. None of these drivers put down times. They did not qualify poorly. Kevin Kyle will be in 28th, Milliken 29th, Tommy Fox 30th, Hunter Hall in 31st, and Brad Burrow gonna round out this 32 car field. Kevin James, you know what to do.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, Mean Gene, the engines are started, and we're here at Miami, and the sun's going down, is it not?
Oh, yes, sir. It is a transition race. Gonna be under the lights, and some of these paint schemes absolutely fabulous. Getting ready to go. Green pace car still leading us around. Fans enjoying the show. Pace car out of the way. Grant Applegate in a new purple scheme. Gonna take the green flag. Away we go. Great jump there by Applegate. Gonna bring Buddy Sully with him. Second row, you can see Novella and Lesko inside lane. Applegate with an advantage. These cars hitting that 21-degree banking here in turn 1. Little bit of a push for some of the drivers. It's Applegate. Behind him, the 21 in the 56 battling away for that second position. Lesko settling in on the apron in 4. It's Jonathan Case Beard looking around the outside, and they're tight. Look,
Oh, yeah, they got into the wall relatively hard there, Mean Gene, and it's not figured out yet. We're still about 4 wide, 5 wide back there. Here we go. I think that was actually Gambrel, not Mata. I apologize. That got into the wall there. It was definitely a teal bright race car. Doesn't look like too much damage for anyone, but that was an ultra tight moment, and we almost got a big caution. And don't forget that a lot of our championship contenders, a lot of the guys on the top of the points, did not qualify.
I had my eye on the 43 that whole time. Zach Clausen riding in the middle. Once again, check him out. A little bit off the pace, getting split by the 56 and the 57, trying to get back up to speed. Behind him, Jay Dargett, fastest in practice. That's that 59. I talked to him before the race. Jay's had some of the fastest practice laps, but hasn't been able to finish the way that he feels that he should. Patience, the name of the game today for the 59 of Dargett.
And we have a lot of new paint schemes out here in Miami as well. That new Red Bull scheme for Grant Applegate in the 14. He's looking really, really good. Buddy Sully said that part of him getting that rust and knocking that rust off was repainting his car. Buddy Sully looking great as well. And then last week's winner, Nate Lesko, with an updated Nesquik. Looks like a little bit of a throwback. But on top of him right now, going for a podium position, Tony Iverson. He qualified better than we've seen him qualify all season here today, me and Gene, and he is not wasting time.
Week 2 winner is Tony Iverson. Won at Talladega, used the high line to move up. You can see now that's gotta be Sean Walton in that Coca-Cola 35. Can't make up his mind on a number. 6725. Today it's the 35 for the Coca-Cola driver.
One day he will decide. Today was not that day, but still another beautiful paint scheme. Behind them, you see Mata and Thornton mixing it up pretty aggressively, as well as K-Spear. But man, you see Michael Mata really drift up the corner through 1 and 2 there. We'll see if he's able to hold his line a little bit better through 3 and 4. We talked a lot about the tires already, me and Gene, and you see someone like Sean Walton right there using that top lane to gain positions. Look how big that run is on Lesko, but let's see the effect that has on the tires.
Yeah, outside lane, very attractive for speed, exit speed, passing, but to just use it constantly makes you wonder how long he'll be able to last. Let's go back to Iverson for just a minute. Looking good in points, now up into that 3rd spot. Last week, though, 31st position for The Undertaker. Not what he wanted to do. Now, remember, it is Whittier and Iverson able to get through. Last year for Iverson was the story of consistency, the maturing of the driver, avoiding the urge to get people back. He's got notches on his belt, Zach, but I think those were calculated bump and runs or getting people loose. Last week went down, can't afford to have himself fall back into that pattern. Gonna keep an eye on Iverson here today to see what the Undertaker does. Middle car there, that's his teammate Iverson. Eric Thornton looking good in that one.
Yeah, Thornton been working on Mata for a few laps now. Going to really make a big pass to the inside here, like a little slide up in front of Mata if he's able to. Not clear, though. Mata going to try to wrap that outside, and we'll see right here how big of a run you get using the outside. And loose on exit is Thornton. That's going to create a 3-wide situation. Meeting the sandwich now is Matt Novella. K-Spear going to get by on the top as well, and instead of gaining 1 position over Michael Mata, he's going to lose 2.
Yeah, Michael Mata did finish in 2nd last year here at Homestead. But when you're talking about Eric Thornton, you're talking about a top 5 driver from last year. Also got 5th at Homestead just last year. Currently battling for playoff contention as he is in 18th, but he's only run 2 races so far this season. So expect that high side hustler number 1 to be moving up that playoff point scale very, very soon.
And then you see Stinson right now working on the outside a little bit higher than Novella, but I warned you guys about that during qualifying, that Matt Novella and that 56 on the inside right there, he's going to stay married to that inside this whole run, me and Gene. And another thing about that, Novella qualified in 3rd place. He is currently sitting all the way back now. I think that's going to be 9th. Yes, it is. That is not unintentional from Novella either. I mean, I'm sure he would have loved to not given up so many spots, but he is going to get those back in bunches if we stay green here. Keep your eye on that 56. That's why that 3rd place qualifying was so important.
Yeah, and also the ability to pick the pit stall where you come in. You don't want to get too far back, and Novella great at getting that pit stall, cruising around, and then striking later in the race. Meanwhile, looks like all the hustlers are now thinking about that outside. Grant Applegate, of course, the master of the outside. Iverson using it to move up, and now we see Thornton. Oh, Sean Walton says, hey, Tony, do I know you? Do you know me?
And he took a little page out of Ross Chastain's book on exit there. He was up against the wall, and it didn't count give him an ounce of speed off there, unless he was just that close. Look at this exit. My goodness, maybe he didn't hit it. He's just that close. Like Kyle Larson around this place is Sean Walton. I don't think anyone right now is making the top look as good or work as well as that 35 is. And that's a shocker. 2 cars in front of us, Mean Gene. Look who's using the inside.
Inside lane today, Grant Applegate. He did talk about what happened to him last week at Iowa. Applegate led the most laps using the inside. We talked about it in the interview of how he was trying to change his line, save tires when he was in the lead, and use the dirty air instead. But it was that costly pit mistakes dropped him back and gave Lesko that dub. Here today, though, still he and Buddy Sully unfinished business, but team delusional driver Sean Walton using that outside. Look at that speed.
That is just crazy, and I think it's going to be the same story here with Grant Applegate. Applegate elects to go to the bottom again, and just watch. Here we go on board with Walton as he's going to wrap this top, and this run is going to be behemoth. But what he's not going to want, I don't think, Mean Gene, is the bottom. Let's see what he chooses here. Perfect timing. That's exactly what he wanted. He will probably be able to get to the side of the 14 here, and that'll be all she wrote, and we'll have a new leader. And let's talk about what this guy did on Thursday, too. Wow, he's been good lately.
Oh, what did he do Thursday?
On Wednesday,
What did he do Wednesday?
Embarrassed the field. A 40-car field, or 46 showing up, had to send 6 home. Walton qualifying on the pole by a stupid margin, and then nobody had anything for him. It was an old-school ass beating, as Kyle Larson likes to call it.
Belt booty, Sean Walton. This guy did win the abbreviated six-pack season just a couple of tourneys ago. Lots of speed from Walton. Question has always been the maturity. Sean, one of the younger drivers here on the circuit, but always showing that speed. He's part of one of the fastest teams. One might argue as good as the two-time defending team champion Highside Hustlers. Delusional never actually had a team, Zach. You know, that Colin Bollinger, Andrew Bolander, Plant Smith, Sean Walton group never competed as a team. This year, plug them in, Delusional versus Highside Hustler. And that's what you're seeing right here.
Watch
right
this
now,
run.
Number 1 Delusional,
Whoa!
2 and 3 Hustler.
And you see Walton block Applegate all the way down to the apron there, entering 3 and 4. And then what I thought was very interesting there, Mean Gene, is the second that Sean Walton made that pass as he loses the lead right there, he went straight to the bottom. And not only can you tell that he didn't really have it figured out yet, he doesn't seem to have the tire for it anymore, Mean Gene. And there he goes a little bit grazing the wall. So yeah, what did Applegate do? He ripped the top just like Walton did before and made the same pass. But look at this. He even hit the wall, but he still has the run.
John Walton continues to show those driving skills, and then a little dirty air. And look at how Applegate gets forced up the track. Walton gonna have the exit speed. Delusional chased by 3 hustlers.
Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness. And that was definitely a helping of dirty air that Walton threw at Applegate there. That's another thing about Walton lately. He's been approaching these races so methodically with such a high IQ. Raises the wall there, but I like how he went straight to the bottom when he made that pass for the lead. I think that was the right thing to do. It didn't work out for him at first, but there he goes again, Mean Gene, and here we go. Grant Applegate is going to come out at 4 with a massive run.
Hard run there by the 14. Walton gets up in front of him to slow the run. Will Walton block? He fakes it, holds his line. Applegate down to the apron with momentum, but now it's Walton's turn. Great action here early being put on by these front drivers. Behind them, Nate Lesko biding his time in the 5th place position. He's only 1.4 seconds back and he's been saving them tires. Team Venom driver Jay Stinson, the number 60 Ford, battling with Michael Mata. Little bit of housekeeping. Looks like Jonathan Case Beer has parked it, so losing the 73. Not sure what happened to the MC Motorsport driver, but Case of Beer parked, and Tommy Fox not making the start as well.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to find it here, me and Gene. Tommy Fox would have also been one of our drivers doing double duty. Appears that he will not end up doing it, but this is what we think may have happened to Case of Beer. Okay, so it's whatever it was has already happened. Let's go back a little bit. I'm assuming he's going to get loose on exit. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here, me and Gene.
Oh, don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it.
And that's all she wrote. That didn't seem like that behemoth of a hit, but
Look
we
at
always,
wiggle.
yeah, I'm sure that's a broken toe link, right? We always talk about how if you hit it with your wheel turned, sometimes a small hit is enough. And I think that's exactly what happened there. Yep, look how that wheel is kind of doing its own thing in the front right.
Very unfortunate for Jonathan Case Beer, MC Motorsport superstar, gonna park it here way too early on lap number 13. Meanwhile, lap 22 continuing to see the battle up front, and now as those drivers using more and more tire, you can see the field starting to tighten up. Top 5 cars all in a group that's 3 high side hustlers chasing Team Delusional and rookie Nate Lesko. Little bit of a jump back to Thornton Mata. Colin Bollinger up 17 spots into that 9th position. And looking at these lap times, it would appear that your fastest lap was Sean Walton the last time, but Jay Stinson also putting burners down in that second group.
Looks like Walton is the fastest car on the track altogether, with the exception of Buddy Sully. Buddy Sully has put down the fastest lap of the race so far. There he is on the inside of Lesko. I have a feeling, Mean Gene, that Nesquik car saved a tiny bit more than these other 4.
Yeah, you know he's up to no good. We watched him in week 1 come up short against Colin, and it was because of some damage forcing him into further back in the restart with just 10 to go. Made it back from 11th to 2nd, couldn't catch Colin. But we've seen long run speed out of that number 10. And now look at him down on the apron, caught up to this lead group. Applegate, Walton, Sully on the outside. There's Iverson, Lesko, and then Sully. Back behind him, here comes Thornton. Oh, that second group. Look at that.
Yeah, I didn't know what to watch right now, I mean, Gene, because, I was about to shout out Stinson. He's done such a great job. He was up 8, now up 7. And, yeah, while it is incredibly impressive, and Bollinger is right there, he's about to be up 18 if he completes his pass on Mata. Now is when the passes get exceptionally difficult. Stinson's already done a lot of those, right? I mean, can't take anything away from Bollinger. I think he's going to be in this lead group in no time. As you see him and Mata getting it into a little bit down the front stretch there. Some side drafting by the 16 on Mata, but don't know if there's a ton he can do. Scariest thing about Bollinger right now, me and Gene, he is wrapping that top, and he's still doing it faster than everybody else.
Yeah, making his way through this crowd as quickly. Making his way as quickly as he can through this crowd, but using that inside lane, saving tires. Also what we've seen from the 10 there of Lesko, not using the outside to cut through, just waiting until people start to plow up a little bit. Meanwhile, the car right behind him, Walton, using the outside exclusively for speed, making you wonder how much is left. You are forced up into that outside lane as the tires wear to maintain your speed, and to see Lesko be able to maintain the same position on the inside as those guys on the outside lets you know when he decides to go high, it's going to be a scary tale for all to see.
Could not agree more with that, especially this part right here. So down the front and back stretch, you should see that red car of Sean Walton dramatically closing the gap on Lesko, and there is no such thing. And here we go, Gene. Lesko's going to try to wrap the top. So first he's going to have to figure it out, right? He's going to have to get down. That looked perfect. So I think this is going to be a pretty nasty run for Lesko as he's going to get even closer to Applegate. Applegate kind of just going wherever he feels like. I think right now managing his tires, he's choosing the bottom because I don't think he feels like he's quite threatened by Lesko yet, right? But I think once Lesko gets closer to him, it won't be up to him anymore. He's going to have to go to that top and defend him and also throw that dirty air. And then moving into potentially fourth here, look at Eric Thornton showing some long run speed.
Eric Thornton, remember, he was leading that second group as they closed on the first, followed there by Bollinger closely, and now they have managed to make it one long string of cars again. Going back to Lesko, I think what we've seen him do is just go where Applegate is not, trying to figure out that entry, but he's coming in low. Here, you've got to enter high, find that speed, and we've yet to see Lesko really commit to it. But what he has done is force Applegate to go up high, allow him to save a little bit more tire. Lap number 30, I think Lesko might have figured out that entry speed. Here we are side by side. If Lesko looks outside again, expect that 10 to dance. But wait.
Slide job incoming. This is going to be a slide job. Yep, throw that dirty air. And look at the crossover that Applegate's going to try to go for here.
Applegate setting that up. You could see him let off, looking for the entry and getting the exit speed. Not quite enough. Lesko going to take over, lead laps. And now let's see the speed the 10 can put down with the air in front of him. Meanwhile, you might wonder, where's Colin? He's up into fifth now, about to pass his delusional teammate.
There it is.
Colin only 1.8 seconds behind, and he's got ally behind him, hopefully, to keep it from getting too spicy. Now, though, Eric Thornton battling with Walton. Thornton also having a great day moving up. Other delusional teammates, you can see Plant Smith only up 3 spots. Big surprise for me to not see Plant Smith moving up a little bit quicker. So he's trying to battle his way through. And then Andrew Bolander, the 4th delusional driver, moving up into 17th. And you can see his tires, he's saved them as he makes his way around Lucas Alves there for the 16th position. Alves, Kevin Kyle also there in that picture frame that we're looking at. And then Craig Schroeder, the 904 rookie, right behind them. Craig is currently in the Discord with a pretty good group of guys as he is in there with those high side hustlers.
That is not a bad group to be around, and they are very open with helping and sharing information. So great group to learn from, or a great group to just be around in general. Great set of friends to have there. As we're starting to see a tiny bit of separation, but like you said, you're starting to really be able to tell who saved their tires and who didn't, as Walton and Thornton are getting to know each other.
Yes, sir. I'm sitting there flipping through, and all of a sudden I see blinking.
Same. I'm like, oh, that's something. Oh, Matt's gonna go for the Pogo special. They're gonna touch.
Oh, they touch. They hold it straight.
And I told you this is around that time that we're gonna see that 56 come alive behind them. Someone else way below the racetrack. Was that John Beverly, I believe?
Oh, J Bev, the commission, the 01 NMO Dead Man Whiskey ride, holding on. Yeah. Meanwhile, how about Novella getting away with one? Novella got under Walton, bumped him up into Thornton. Thornton calls out Walton for it, and Novella just keeps radio silence and drives away.
That's like, I wasn't there. I don't know what they're talking about. That is amazing.
Yes, but now Walton behind Novella. These guys have had a little fun with each other before, so this group is spicy. And poor Michael Mata, he's in the 16, and Jay Stinson behind them are in it. I don't think they have any idea what they're getting into right now.
Just figure it out, boys, please.
And here comes Gambrel to stir the martini right behind him.
Exactly. If there's one guy that's going to calm everyone down and be the voice of reason, it's going to be Eric Gambrel. So that's
Did you
great.
Boys need a front bumper?
Exactly. I can tell you guys are trying to wreck. Let me just do it for you.
Oh, you got to love the ride. Hey, since we see Eric Gambrel, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Eric. Thank you so much for today's sponsorship. You are, of course, watching the Steve Lewis 9 202.5, presented by Gambrel Racing. Steve Lewis 9, also known as Steve Lewis, also known as Louis
And the
out here
carnivore.
today. The carnivore, the captain. So many names for such a big part. Steve runs so many leagues out here. Great driver. Goes all the way back to the Xbox days of MRL, QRL. Just a staple of the league, Steve Lewis. So love having him out here. And thank you, Eric, as well for your sponsorship here today. Back to the action on the track. Thornton and Walton side by side.
Oh, boy.
Walton trying to sneak by. Thornton under him, or Michael Mata up in front right there. No idea, as he is looking forward. Should be looking in the back. Walton going to do a crossover. Here we go.
And we'll see how much room these two give each other this time. Last time it was 0 was the choice of 1. And if they're going to go with 0 again. Oh, my goodness, Mean Gene.
Yeah, here it is. They're going to rub. He's going to rub him.
Yep, they're rubbing hard. Oh, and Garibald's going to join the party. This will make it better.
No, he's not.
Throw 3 wide. Oh, Gambrel just scoots on by. These two got it figured out, Mean Gene. They're losing positions in bunches because they're too busy yelling at each other.
Yes, they're slowing down, daring each other to wreck one another.
Oh, no!
Oh, and Thornton gets loose. That was some ugly air. Hold it, Eric. Hold it, Eric.
Thornton is going to live to see another day, and that honestly is maybe what needed to happen, Mean Gene, because it was going to end a lot worse than that.
Well, and I'm worried about Eric's tires now.
Me too.
Getting loose a couple of times, not going to help. Here comes Andrew Bolander, Sean Walton's teammate, probably the quietest of the 4 on Team Delusional. Gonna just make his way around the bottom. Thornton now hopefully will have a chance to let his tires cool off. We're on lap 40. I am anticipating some green flag pit stops. We have been green. This has been an amazing run, especially considering how many drivers are out here today. So good running. Walton still using the outside lane just ahead of them.
And the wall
Jay
like NASCAR
Stinson,
heat.
great run. Yeah, he is. And Jay Stinson, the Team Venom driver, great run there today by the number 60 Kroger Ford.
And it looks like Stinson actually starting to fall off a little bit, though, Mean Gene. We saw him up as far as about 6th or 5th place, but right now he was one of those cars that was using the top lane early, not quite working out for him. Walton has been one that's been using the top lane pretty much this whole time, but with that little wall hit he's figured out, it's been helping him out a lot. You'll see him kind of around the middle of the corner, kind of using the wall to help him turn. Usually doesn't work in iRacing, but hey, it's going to. Why not? It's not cheating. And yeah, here we go, Stinson again.
Pits are being worked now. We see Jay Dargett has come down. Jason Brachel pitting on lap 37. We saw Brad Furrow. Looks like on 34, Brandon Guerin came down, but Guerin got out of the car.
Right.
Yeah, looking unhappy, kicks the tires, and off he goes. So both Guerin and Case Beer now shown as triage to this track. More pit action as Hunter Hall, and now I hear Kevin Kyle on the radio as well, about to bring down the 31.
This is a replay right now of Brandon Guerin just trying to figure, it looks like he's tight. Oh, and there it is, Mean Gene. Another one of those, somewhat aggressive hits in the wall, but likely enough to break his toe link. And you can kind of see that car not so much wanting to drive in a straight line anymore. And that was probably enough for Guerin to call it a day here today.
So, let's go to the 31 for a second down in the pit. We've seen Kevin Kyle as a crew chief this year. Remember, he picked up Sim and Destroy sponsorship with Zach Winstead. Zach not able to make the race today. So instead, Kevin Kyle going to pick up the Sim and Destroy Racing Company mantle and defend out there. Kevin Kyle has a lot of experience and has some good results here. So good to see Kevin Kyle back out there on the track.
A lot of the leaders pitting right now, Mean Gene. We got Sully, Lesko, Iverson, Walton, Thornton, Mickelson, Stinson, Schroeder, Alves. Tons of leaders pitting right now. I think it's going to be a standard 4 tires and fuel. There goes Lesko. Perfect stop. Iverson seems to have gotten on and off pit road just as well as about anybody. I think he'll probably cycle into 2nd place when all this is said and done.
End of lap 68, we will be awarding stage points. There'll be no caution for it. They will continue to run. But you imagine 45 puts us at 90, puts us at 135. So they're looking, anybody pitting from here forward should be able to finish with just one more
Here comes
pit stop.
Bollinger. Bollinger gonna pit this time around. We've seen Bollinger so many times be just absolutely brilliant. Oh, coming in hot is Novella. Whoa, that was either a brilliant pit stop or speeding. We'll see what it is for the 56 there. But we've seen so many times Bollinger able to stay out a lap or two longer than the rest of his competitors and not have to give up too much time because of it. We'll see what happens here because he had done a great job working through the field so far, Mean Gene.
Coming out of the pits on pit road, you can see Gambrill and Plant Smith. These two guys, they have had a couple of run-ins, so going to be fun to see the fresh tires.
Here comes
Smith
Applegate
with a lot more acceleration coming off. Going to pull around Gambrill. So those two joining with traffic, gonna be fun. All the leaders coming down now. Applegate, Vulpes, Mata, Bolander. Gonna turn the lead over to Zach Clausen. The lead is not safe from Farmer today, as the 43 gonna lead his first lap of the day.
Turns out the lead is safe as Farmer's gonna bring it in actually, and he's gonna give the lead back to Lesko, who's getting his way around Milliken right now, luckily to put him a lap down. Iverson only 2 seconds back on Lesko now, so definitely some forward progress there for Iverson. But I think the big story here, Mean Gene, and we'll find out right now, I think Applegate's about to lose second place.
Yeah, you can see Lesko shooting right by him. Applegate still merging, so Lesko pitting back on 43, 3 laps ahead of those guys, using that short pit for the extra speed, and we'll see just how long it takes for them to close the gap. But Lesko once again using that apron, great tire conservation, breakdown much smaller for him. Meanwhile, you can see Sam Milliken first car a lap down. Milliken pitted on 43, same lap as Lesko, and you can already see that speed differential. The Texan needing to get it back the old-fashioned way, but trying to match Lesko's speed could be a quick ending to your tires.
And we have quite a few fast cars already with some misfortunes putting them a lap down. Clausen's going to be clinging on to that lap right here. Let's see just how close he is to Lesko. I don't think it's far at all. He already has been put a lap down as Clausen, as well as Matthew Skurwick of Daily Drivers Inc. He is currently a lap down. Jason Rochelle, one of the faster drivers in the field, has had some misfortunes to put him a lap down, as well as the title sponsor of the race, Steve Lewis, currently a lap down.
So 4 guys still alive, 5 guys still alive, a lap down, trying to get in position to battle for a lucky dog if it came out. No cautions here today so far. Now, Hunter Hall, 28 seconds behind, just a 5-second lead for Hunter Hall between he and race leader Nate Lesko. Lesko winning last week at Iowa. Coming out party could be continuing here today. Other drivers of note, you're wondering where they are. Tony Iverson, gap is growing, 2 seconds behind Nate Lesko. Then 2 behind Tony, gonna be Grant Applegate. Applegate not as fast on and off pit road, wanting to avoid those mistakes, but that also cost him a little bit of time. Very close to him, gonna be Buddy Sully, equal distance back, Colin Bollinger, Vulpes, Thornton, Matt Novella running 8th. Daniel Smith, he must not like me calling him out earlier, making his way up into 9th. And then Kevin Kyle up 18 spots into 10th place. Now, bear in mind, we are looking at a 135 lap race. You need to make it about 42, 43 to do this on just 2 pit stops. All these drivers are in that window, except for perhaps Brad Furrow, Jay Dargett, gonna have difficulty on that, but both those drivers remaining on the lead lap.
Yeah, I'm assuming a lot of these drivers counting down to the stage right there. You can see in the top right of your scoreboard, we only have 16 to go in the stage, if math is hard. And I think no one's going to want to pit before that, but I assume shortly after you're going to be tempted to get those new tires on soon. What I'm also noticing here is you see Stinson looking to make a move on Kevin Kyle, or actually vice versa, as Kevin Kyle continuing working his way through the field. Is Applegate, not only was he pretty conservative on and off the pits like you alluded to, he also waited about 3 more laps than Iverson and Lesko did. They both pitting on lap 43 while Applegate waiting all the way till lap 46. Those 3 lap tire advantage that you assume Applegate has, not too dramatic right now, Mean Gene. Not making any meaningful progress towards Iverson, able to hold off Sully pretty well, but I think it might be tempting these drivers to bring it in on the earlier side. I think even more proof of that would be Daniel Plant-Smith and Kevin Kyle, two other drivers who came in on the earlier side of that cycle.
Makes you wonder also if this is not the experimental stage to see how long and how much they can save.
Right.
So often I will push my first set of tires when I race just to maintain my track position. And then the second set of tires is where I'm kind of coasting and seeing how far can I push it, and might I risk right side only on a little bit longer of a run. Now, if it was a full fuel run, 40 laps, of course, not going to risk it. But if you coast a little bit here on that second run, maybe you do take the 2 tires just to maintain. And when everybody takes 4 later, that's when you get the advantage and hold that track position up front. Sean Walton, Eric Gambrell in this shot right behind them. That beautiful 51 of Mickelson as well, racing hard. Lots of great action. Big shout out to Sam Milliken, still staying within striking distance of Nate Lesko. He's not willing to give up the ghost, Zach.
Say one more slip up and I
that's
gotcha.
his playoff. Yes, and he wants to get it back the old-fashioned way. But what he is doing is staying right there in striking position for that lucky dog. Really great run here. We're on lap number 56 of the Steve Lewis 9. I don't want to call it the T-bone race. I really don't, but it's
You're going
in the
to at some
background.
point.
No.
It's going to happen. I know it. I'm calling it now. But one thing that's also interesting here, Mean Gene, is the digression of Sean Walton throughout this race. He led 6 laps, felt like more, but he was battling for the lead for what felt like, 20-plus laps, and then started to fall off pretty dramatically and did pit a little bit on the early side. Pit on lap 43, much like a lot of the leaders. Not sure if he didn't have a good stop or if he had just already given up too many positions, but Sean Walton is outside the top 10.
So Sean Walton, maybe he's also one of those guys playing around to see what he can do with his tires. Meanwhile, while we've been giggling and having a good time, Tony Iverson has closed that gap from 2 seconds to 0.7 of a second. Iverson clicking it away, trying to pull even. Iverson also has had the fastest top speed today, has pushed 192 in this next-gen car. So that very impressive. Last lap, 0.3 of a second faster than Nate Lesko.
That is dramatic. I mean, Gene, it could be using a little bit of that draft from Milliken, but also he's getting that dirty air from the 17 as well, and it's not affecting him as they're about to cross the start-finish line again. We'll see what Iverson was able to do this time as our data updates. My assumption is, faster again. Only about, you could say 0.2 that time, but that's dramatic. I mean, Gene, it's down to half a second now for Tony Iverson, and these two are on the same tire life, same lap they pitted on. So this is just straight up speed for that 13.
Same with Grant Applegate. He was 4 seconds down at the beginning of this run and now finds himself just 2.6 back of the leader. So he is trying to find that's just an Applegate stripe.
That's the Walton line.
Yeah, I don't even worry about that. But slowly bringing it in so that he can do battle. Now, the question for Iverson is, how quick can he get around Sam Milliken? Milliken not wanting to travel too far back, but on the other hand, veteran driver doesn't want to get in the way of this battle. Milliken, he's also a Bonfire Premier Cup driver on Sundays.
Gonna let Tony go here.
Yeah, this guy runs up in the front as well, and he wants the same respect that he gives others, and here he is showing that respect to Iverson. You don't demand respect, you command it, and that class act right there by Milliken going to be remembered by not just Iverson, but hopefully all who watch this broadcast.
Right. Sam Milliken, one of those drivers who's going to be racing where Iverson is right now more often than not, and he knows to treat those guys with the respect they deserve, and he expects it in return. Eric Thornton brings it down in the pits, Mean Gene, and this is with 8 to go in the... Oh, no.
This is not scheduled.
Look at all that damage.
Not scheduled for Thornton. You got to be worried about him as he's down there. Up front, we can see... Again, Lesko running the inside lane. Iverson using the outside. Battle is heating up front. What happened to Eric?
Look at where the camera is now, Mean Gene.
No, that's not the way to do it.
That's not the right way to be facing. Oh, so we'll go back a little bit. Oh, he's going to get loose at a 4 here. Try to correct it. Do what Juan calls a micro adjustment and bang into the wall. And that's the front of the race car. That's the only place that's worse than the toe link, Mean Gene, because that's likely the engine, as a lot of cars have to navigate his way around them. But you can see just how destroyed that number 1 is. That's going to be the day for the one of Eric Thornton.
Eric Thornton out of the car, throwing his helmet at it, not happy, back to the trailer. But MRL officials stopping him. It's infield care center first.
Yep.
After that kind of hit. Meanwhile, Iverson creeping up. He's got 5 tombstones on the year. Might that rear bumper of Lesko be tombstone number 6? Gonna see as the 13 trying to reel in that number 10. Lesko, a rookie. Caution on the track.
Oh, wow. Shocking to have a caution now, and that will likely be the stage. We'll see, and oh, big names involved in this caution, Mean Gene.
No, Lucas Alves there in that black car. Not what he wanted. Eric Gamble. Oh, no.
That's Bolander
Andrew
right there.
Bolander.
He's going to lock it down. This will have brought out the caution. And Walton went around too, Mean Gene.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Let's see here. All right, let's keep our eye on Walton this time. Weird there from Bolander, whatever happened. Walton trying to save it. Is it going to hit anything or anybody? Whoa!
Oh, Alves into the wall. That's Brad Furrow in that purple car behind him.
Wow. And we will ride on board for Alves with that. Here we go, Mean Gene. Look at this.
Wide open, and then all of a sudden, a Walton on the track.
That was a bigger hit than I thought it was. That was a much bigger hit than it originally looked like. I'm hoping that's not terminal damage for Alves.
Yeah, well, he passed it, but you can see to keep it straight, he's having to turn that wheel far to the right. MRL officials have announced that will be the stage.
Okay.
Let's look at points. Nate Lesko going to take first. Tony Iverson second. Grant Applegate third. Colin Bolander fourth. And now they're all jumbling around on my
and
SDK.
Bumpus doesn't pit, Mean Gene. Wow, that's a crazy decision by Joseph Volpus. And it looks like Walton doesn't either, but I think he may be a lap down.
Keeping an eye on our leaders up front. It looks like Alves is into the pit. 4 tires on the agenda for Alves. Tony Iverson also in there taking the 4 tires. Lap number 65, caution comes out, taking this opportunity now to get 4 freshies and get some more fuel. We had initially thought they could break this up. Still gonna need 1 more pit stop to complete it, but this takes drivers like Furrow and Dargert off the panic button because they had pitted at lap 40 or sooner, knowing they wouldn't be able to push it. At this stage now, everyone needs 1 more pit stop to make it to the end. MRL gives you 4 sets of tires in the pit, plenty of tires on the wall for all these guys, so everybody should still have that 1 extra set on the wall for a late run. Now, I'll tell you what, while we're under caution, let's take this opportunity to give a shout out to one of our great sponsors, KK Woodscape.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
Also want to give a big shout out to league sponsor Fish Speed, the Fish Speed Consortium, a group of Discord racers all meeting up using Garage 61 to share ideas, concepts, and lines. If you've never used Garage 61, it is an innovative tool showing you throttle, gear, brake, wheel usage, all parts of the track. Fish Speed, check them out. Pace car is away, and away we go. Joe Vulpes on the inside control car. Michael Mata on the outside with him. These two drivers not coming in for a pit as everyone else except Sean Walton did. Applegate into the wall. Applegate bouncing, maintain speed. Lesko trying to get around the 98 of Vulpes. Can't do it. Outside lane with better speed. That's Mata on the old tires. Gets a push from Applegate. Mata down to the apron. Mata, Vulpes, Iverson on the apron. Applegate, Lesko making the outside work. And here comes Colin Bollinger up 20 into 6th.
Phenomenal driving by Michael Mata to maintain this lead. Truly incredible, and you really can't take anything away from Joseph Vulpes either. Still holding on to that third place position. Not as dramatic as you think it would be in terms of the speed difference with these tires. This is going to be teaching these drivers a little something, Mean Gene, because look at Lesko. He has not been able to do anything, but here goes Applegate for the lead.
Applegate gonna push through into the lead. Lesko now contact with Mata. Lesko also got a hard bump from the 13 of Iverson. Not a full tombstone, but definitely letting him know that the 13 is not here to play or make friends. Side by side with Mata. Mata now in front of Bollinger. Lots of dicing going on up front. The 98 of Vulpes slowly fading on those older tires, as is the 16 of Mata.
Wow.
Mata using the outside lane a little more than Joe. Expect Joe's tires to drag a little bit farther in this run. Now, both Vulpes and Mata have the fuel to just make it a one more stop situation, but the big deal is the tires. They're trying to save that extra set of tires later in the run, Zach. If they can stay on the lead lap and that caution comes out, look at the 98 and 16, the flex.
Yeah, that is going to be so interesting to follow. I really, really cannot wait to see how this race progresses and how many cautions we get and how it changes, because I do like it for Vulpes and Mata, but a lot of things are going to have to go their way. Right now, the guy sticking out to me is that 53 of Colin Bollinger, one of the past champions of this league. He has just been lights out fast, made some huge moves there to get up into 4th place. And now look at Iverson and Lesko.
Iverson diving down. He's already rubbed the 10 a couple of times, and now he's under him. This is where we've seen Iverson plow up and not worry about it. Lesko all the way to the wall, avoiding it as Iverson comes up. Iverson falls into line behind him. Lesko, a student of the game, has seen many videos of his competitors, and I think he knew that one in Iverson's playbook. He went up to that wall awful fast, Zach.
Yeah, Iverson tried to run him low and go for a late move, and yeah, Lesko did not buy what he was selling. He was still able to find a great line and do some good defense. Right here, Mata on back. It's just absolute insanity, Mean Gene. You see Vulpes right there trying to hang on, but you're side by side with Kevin Kyle, Daniel Plant-Smith, and Matt Novella right behind them. A lot of fast cars that have fresh tires.
That 98 of Vulpes still fading. Going to get a tap from Plant Smith on that left rear bumper. Very dangerous. Vulpes holds, continues forward. Plant Smith, the 51 of Mickelson, behind them as well. And then Novella Gambrel. And hey, here comes Furrow as well. Brad Furrow, the number 5 Ford, making his way up into 13th, using that outside lane very quickly as he and Stinson side by side. Outside lane, better momentum. Furrow going to take over 13th.
Speaking of the outside, here's Tony Iverson working that same lane to try to find his way around the Nesquik car of Nate Lesko, last week's winner. Week before that was Iverson. Perfect, picture perfect right there up top. Massive run, and he's going to complete the pass. Also put a buffer between him and Bollinger. This is like Bollinger is going to try to ride a hybrid of that somewhere towards the middle. Yeah, look at that. Bollinger really not wanting to commit to the top just yet. Going to let his car drift up so he doesn't put so much wheel in it, but still likely come out with a pretty good run.
We've seen Colin just taking it easy this entire first half of this race. Nothing changing for the 53 as he's just trying to put himself in a position to repeat what he did week 1 at Charlotte. Meanwhile, second, third, and fourth place, these are your 3 winners of the first 3 rounds of the regular season. Up front, Grant Applegate, 3 pole positions, including today. Grant, last year's champion, searching for the first win. Maybe it comes here today as he's leading at Homestead, Miami on lap number 77.
I think one guy who did not want a caution at any point in this race is that 21 of Buddy Sully, currently battling with a 31 of Daniel Plant-Smith. Buddy Sully just really had this thing figured out. He had pit when he wanted to. He was alone a lot of the time. He wasn't really under pressure a lot. And you just saw right there what's annoying about these restarts. Buddy Sully getting tight on the exit of 2 right there, hard in the wall, able to keep it rolling there. But Sully clearly struggling in this heavy traffic more than he did when he was able to kind of do his own thing and just put in some really, really fast laps. Sully was looking like he had a chance to win this thing.
We'll look behind him as you see that crowd right there. Furrow and Gambrell so fast on the outside. Novella, Mickelson making the inside work, but Sully and Plant-Smith side by side, nowhere to go. Gambrell dives down in front of Mickelson. Gonna follow Sully onto the apron. Here comes Plant-Smith, a little bit of dirty air, pushes Sully up the track. This group ain't going nowhere, Zach.
No, and you can see just how many lines for racing available there are to these drivers. The 5 of Furrow is going out of screen or off screen in some portions because he's just going that high. But every time we come back together in the straightaways, he's right there. Look at Furrow right there in the purple number 5, doing a great job on that outside. Now a Stinson behind him, but there's the risk of it. You see Stinson kind of graze that wall. And then Wyatt Mickelson, have not said enough about him, me personally, at least today. He is doing such a phenomenal job. He's kept that 51 clean, making that car proud. That is not any small feat or task to be driving that number, Mean Gene. We know all the history, championships, and legacy behind that number in this league.
Yeah, you got to do it proud right there, the 51, and Mickelson getting it done. You know, that 5 on the outside, what he's done is figure out the entry. Look how close he gets to the wall. Not afraid of it, rolls the car into it, maintaining his position with the guy on the apron. And then on the exit, he is able to zip it around. Watch right here. Gonna get 3 wide as Alps peaks above the 98. The 5 now side by side with Alps, moving by him. That 5 on a mission. As long as he's got rubber on the rim, he's gonna be dangerous. Question is, how long will it last?
And yeah, that's a perfect assessment of how he's approaching this and why it's the right way to run the top, especially this early. We talk so much about how the top is a tire killer, and we've already seen it today. The biggest example being Sean Walton just absolutely killing him in the latter half of that run. But this is how you manage it. Watch how much he, like you said, backs up that corner. He's going to let it drift up, and this is what I like to call a mini diamond. He's just doing it on the top. The end of the diamond is as close as he can get to the wall. He uses that little bubble of air that exists on the wall to turn the car back down. And the big thing here, Mean Gene, is that steering wheel. Keep your eye on the wheel. He is barely turning that thing. No more increasing in the turning. Once he's into the corner, only unwinding. That is how you protect your tire when you're choosing the top line.
Yeah, he's got Joe Volpus under him, though. That is a really fast guy. Volpus finally thinking about falling into line. Furrow still making it work. That middle line also has come to life because we saw Lucas Alves turn that into a machine as he moved forward through the crowd as well. Up front, though, how about that sneaky number 29 as well, moving into the top 5?
We've got 2 sneaky snakes up here, Mean Gene. The first one is Kevin Kyle, the sneaky. Oh no! Michael Mata going around!
No, Mata. Oh, don't bring it back up, Joe. Don't do it.
Big hit for Mata. Joe able to save it, but Michael Mata's day likely over, and that was with Lucas Alves.
Lucas Alves, we saw that 15 moving up through the crowd, but then once he gets down, calamity.
Here's the wreck here, just loose off. Didn't know. I think that's Alves. Is that Alves?
Yeah, he's in a black car.
Yeah, that is
I
Alves.
think
Didn't
Alves.
know Alves was there. Did Michael Mata, or if even he did, there was nothing he could do about it, right? Here we go again.
That's just unfortunate. Look at Mata. He's hauling it and then just gets a little loose, comes down. And then Joe Vulpes, I guess he felt sympathy pain for his good friend Lucas.
He did.
Said, yeah, he saw you was wrecking, and it was like, I'll wreck too.
I'm here with you. That's my friend. Really nice of Joseph Vulpes to do that. Not often he does that. But
No.
man, unfortunate for Michael Mata. He was making those old tires work to the best of his ability. And not just that, that's going to be interesting for Vulpes. I mean, he spun there, so now he's going to really want those tires off that race car. But if you were on that strategy that Mata and Vulpes was on, I don't think that's when you wanted the caution.
No, sir. But you know what? Hey, everybody's going to get a chance to fix it. Here comes.
Only Bollinger.
Kevin Kyle and Bollinger doing a little switcheroonie. Also, that last caution that we just had back on 63, that lets Sam Milliken get back on the lead lap. So Sam very excited about that. 21 cars on the lead lap. We're going to see, I believe, Jason Rochelle had position over Zach Clausen to get the lucky dog. Keeping an eye, it does look like Rochelle rolling around. 22 scheduled to be on the lead lap. Gonna see the damage, though, to Mata. While we figure it out, I think this is a great time, Zach, to give a shout-out to one of our big sponsors, KK Woodscape.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
KK Woodscapes, making trophies for your league and mine. Get in with him today if you need that wood. Michael Mata, he's rolling again, Zach. It's wiggling awful funny. What do you think's going on in the 16?
It looks like a shorter drive, but she's out there one way or the other. We'll see how long Mata's able to hold on, because, yeah, that race car does not appear to want to drive straight right now. But Michael Mata not saying die yet. I mean, we always say it, Mean Gene, and we're never really wrong about it. Cautions breed cautions. So I see why Mata wants to not give up quite yet.
Yeah, if he can just stay on that lead lap, find another caution, maybe, just maybe, he'll be able to get that thing rolling again. Jack Sanders, the 25 Season 2 champion, is down in the pit as well, getting a little splash of gas. Why not get a little extra fuel in that hot rod?
Yeah, it looks like Jack Sanders going to do that as well, yeah. And that's all all Bollinger did. Bollinger did not throw tires on it. It was a 6-second pit stop. He only added fuel.
Well, you remember early, Vulpes and Mata were the guys saving tires. This is an opportunity for some others to save those tires, as we can see. Schroeder and Bollinger both with that strategy. Up front, Grant Applegate, away we go, out like a cannon ahead of the second row. Second row, Iverson, Kevin Kyle, Nate Lesko trying to get into that draft, as well as Plant Smith. Kyle stuck on the outside. Iverson, Lesko, and the 31 of Plant Smith hugging the apron behind the leader, Grant Applegate. Plant Smith looks high. Lesko, Kyle, they're banging doors. Iverson says, I started it, but now I'm driving away. Down to the apron goes Iverson.
Yeah, that was a close one between Kevin Kyle and Lesko, and we might end up being 3-1. Ooh, looks like Kevin Kyle badly misses that corner. Mean Gene, he's going to lose a few positions. Momentum so important on these restarts, but he's slowly trying to settle back in, get himself back in the top 5, where I'm sure he believes he belongs. And one thing this field should be afraid of is that Daniel Plant Smith race car anywhere close to the podium positions. We know how much he can find speed late in races, and do not keep your eye, or don't look away from that 53 Dr. Pepper blue race car towards the back there of Colin Bollinger. He is going to be fun to see how he can work through this field. And then also the fresh tires of Joseph Vulpes.
The 14th position of Colin Bollinger back there, making his way up through the crowd. Look at this. You can see immediately back up on that wall is Brad Furrow, pushing his way up into 7th place now. Great run by Furrow. Led laps in week 2. Came up short. Maybe today he meets Eric Gambrell, and yes, it comes to fruition. Gambrell trying to Steve Lewis 9 Brad Furrow
Seriously.
doesn't do it.
The walls are blue, Gambrel, not purple.
Yes, Furrow riding the rail. Look at that great run here today by Furrow.
Oh, we saw those
side
disappear.
by side with Novella.
Oh, man. Wyatt Nicholson
A
making
little more
this.
side by side.
Yeah, Gambrel in a world of hurt after that little bobble there. You can see Mickelson going to try to fill that gap on the top. Gambrel with a great wrap around that middle lane. That middle lane feels a little bit underrated, Mean Gene. Bollinger has used it more than anybody, and I mean, he's done a great job with it. I don't know why more people aren't trying it.
Yeah, I saw Lucas Alves have some great success there in that middle as well. I just wonder, though, does the middle hurt your tires even more than that outside? It just has to be determined by the drivers in the car. Your car's slowly going to go up the track anyway as the tires wear out, trying to maintain speed. But the question is, why would you go up there immediately? But you know what? In these next-gen cars, I've seen guys do the whole race up there. In the Bonfire Premier Cup last season, we saw guys start up there, finish up there, and never really be suffering too much, even in the middle or in the later stages of that run. Up front, look at this 0.6 of a second lead. Applegate trying to keep away the hungry Lesko. Then Iverson, Plant Smith, Buddy Sully, Kevin Kyle. Kevin Kyle substituting today for Zach Winstead in the Simmons Destroy car. Good run by Kevin, up 22 spots into that 6th position. Matt Novella, and here's the commish, John Beverly, running in the 8th position. Top spot today for Beverly. He had a scare, did the 0-1, but now the Deadman Whiskey Chevrolet putting on a show in 8th place.
Yeah, Beverly doing a phenomenal job. He's pretty much been up and down this general area all race, never falling too far back. But like you said, there's been some moments for Bev. Oh, and there's a moment for Wakefield, or for Walton. Big wreck here. Vulpes in it. The 5 in it. Oh,
23 gets caught up. That's Matthew Zerwick. No. Walton and Furrow get together. Walton into the rear of Furrow when both cars are under speed. And, Matthew in that 23 had nowhere to go. Maybe should have slowed a little, but, that's an argument for a later date.
Yeah, certainly. And we'll see if there was a reason for Walton to be so upset about that. Yeah, there was. Here we go, Mean Gene, as he just sends him around. Wow.
Oh, my word.
I don't know what Walton was so upset about. Yeah, Skirbeck should have slowed down. You're right about that. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go on board with Walton, right? I wonder how much earlier this started between these two, right? All right, here we go, Mean Gene. Let's go back like a set of corners. So this is on board with Sean Walton.
Everything looks fine.
Yeah, I agree. So there's that run on the top of the 5.
It looked, to me, if you go to the overhead, it just looks like netcode, and it shouldn't have.
Yeah, that does look like netcode. That does look like netcode.
Because Walton is not under the bumper to force that air.
Right. And Walton did not turn into the 5 there. He did not turn into Furrow at all. His steering was completely broken. But yeah, let me go in the overhead for you. So like the blimp cam is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like I was kind of behind. But to me, it just looked like right here, he's not touching him and he's not under him to take the air away. And he's not closing the gap. He never made contact.
If I'm Walton, I wouldn't
have
I wouldn't have expected that to happen if I was Sean Walton. Brutal, though.
And then right up into him.
Yeah, and he, again, right here. It's actually, I think, Furrow going up into Walton. It is. Walton, I mean, he has no steering. That wheel did not turn on. Yeah, Skirbeck definitely should have slowed that car down a little bit.
That's one of your DDI boys. You're going to have to send him an email. I hear Eddie Peltz is giving out lessons.
I think they had heard that I hadn't paid any massive invoices yet today, so they had to fix that.
Hey, can you go back to 93, lap 93 for a minute when the moment of contact with Zerwick occurs?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see why.
Please? Oh, yeah, you know why.
Yep.
Let's do a little still frame right there.
Okay, so I'm going to go back. Oh, that car does not look good anymore. It was so pretty. Was that even 93? Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, he got going
You're almost
again.
there.
Yep.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Can you give me an overhead of this moment when it occurs?
Yep.
You
There
know
you
what
go.
we're looking for. You know it.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for it. Wait for the 23 to come into the picture.
Oh, wait. He was already there. Don't worry. We want the full effect. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Hold on.
I want the moment of contact when the 23 comes into the 5.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I want. Because I'm
There
going
it
to make the
is.
sound. Get the angle. Get the rear chase. No, I want to see the rear chase in a still frame then. I want this.
Oh, man.
There it is. Yes.
And
There it is.
boom.
Yes. You're watching the Steve Lewis 922.5 live at Homestead, Miami Speedway.
Perfect timing, too, me, Gene.
Start is off and away we go. Oh, I'm so bad.
We've been timing these perfect. Oh, my goodness. Hunter Hall and Daniel Plant Smith mixing it up right away. Hunter Hall, I'm assuming, staying out, right?
Yes. Yeah, Lesko is in the pit. Those guys having a little bit of difficulty. Meanwhile, action on the track. Look at Grant Applegate wasting no time. Contact into
Stinson.
the wall, but still rolling. That's Stinson on the outside. The 51 of Mickelson dives down to the apron to avoid it. Stinson still rolling, but Kevin Kyle and him, little bit of contact there on that exchange.
Oh, man. There were 3 wide up here.
Applegate, Lesko, and Plant Smith making it happen. Plant Smith off the throttle, forcing the 13 of Iverson down onto the apron. Applegate on his horse right now, trying to move forward. Up front, Hunter Hall, Matt Novella trying to hold on to this pony.
Hunter Hall doing a phenomenal job keeping the lead right now. He's going to be able to lead this lap as well. And what's definitely helping him out is these guys just absolutely brawling. Here we go, 3 wide again.
3 wide battle here. Lap number 83. Iverson now Lesko cuts down to the apron. Outside lane, you can see trying to make it work. Applegate and Hall. Applegate into the middle. Iverson up in front of him with the block. Hall on the outside by himself, fading. Applegate, he's getting a little feisty with Iverson. Here comes Novella, and where there's action, the king of the north, Colin Bollinger, making his way toward the front.
Bollinger doing a great job. It looks like right now he's buying his time, trying to be patient, is Bollinger. Matt Novella, I think, got that track position by virtue of some trickery right here. I think it was 2 tires, Mean Gene, with an 8-second pit stop. Right now, it's kind of working for Novella, but he's not really able to make any forward progress, more just defending, and Bollinger in a world of hurt right now. 2 cars in front of him, side by side, both with a tire disadvantage compared to him.
Matt Novella did take 2. Hunter Hall did pit last on 84 to get 4 tires, but 16 laps has Hall put on those ride. Lesko up front with a half-second lead over Tony Iverson. Iverson on the outside. Other cars trying to make it work out there, scheduled for 135. We are on lap 101, 35 laps to go. Everybody with enough fuel. Question is, how long will those tires last?
That's what's going to be the big thing here, is Steve Lewis being scored as a leader but pitting. That was interesting. But on top of that,
Let's go, Louis.
Yeah, he's leading this race, Mean Gene. We saw Jay Stinson get in the wall pretty hard on that checkup or whatever that was in the restart, and he has just smacked the wall every lap since then. Tons of damage done to that 60 race car. You can see the right side of it, the passenger side, really dented in, kind of flattened out, and you can exit these corners. You can see Stinson struggling. Brutal situation for Jay Stinson. That 60 was looking so fast today.
Yeah, Jay, not what he wanted to hear. That's the Team Venom driver out here by himself today. Teammates AWOL. Meanwhile, look at Applegate and Iverson. Iverson gonna dive it down low. gives Applegate plenty of space. Applegate takes that familiar outside lane. Look at the entry of Applegate. So high, so close to the wall, so much exit speed. Applegate dialing in onto the 10 of Lesko.
Yeah, Applegate really looking like he is the one that has the most to say about Lesko going back to back here. Really like the speed Applegate has, and on the long run, it's been just as strong. Iverson's been up there, but he just has not looked to have race winning speed. Maybe if he's able to get that clean air, maybe then Mean Gene. But so far, Iverson just doing a lot of the same. But hey, in this type of season, this early in the regular season, nothing wrong with what Iverson's doing right now. And same goes for the car behind him, Colin Bollinger in the 53.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the top 4 has 3 of our winners in the previous 3 weeks, and then Applegate trying to hunt down his first win to go along with his 3 pole positions. 5th place, season 3 champion Buddy Sully. The rust has been knocked off the wagon, and he is ready to challenge. But the story is the closing speed of Applegate. Can he keep the rubber on the tires for another 30 laps as he tries to chase down last week's winner, the number 10 Nesquik Toyota of Nate Lesko?
I'll tell you what, Mean Gene, if I'm Nate Lesko, as you can see right there with that graphic, Grant Applegate is faster right now. He's about a 10th faster per lap, and I think it'll be the same story here. If not faster for Lesko. That's a great lap by Lesko. But what is happening, though, Mean Gene? Like you said, we got 30 to go still. That is so many laps, especially at a demanding racetrack like this that just completely eats up tires. If I'm Lesko, I'm looking at my rearview mirror and thinking, good, go ahead, buddy. As long as he doesn't pass me, I'm not worried about a single thing if he keeps using that top lane.
Agree. I think what we're seeing is a lot of patience by specific drivers. Iverson, Bolander, Buddy Sully, all riding that lower lane. Meanwhile, hats off to Hunter Hall. He's only fallen back to 6th as he has 10 lap older tires than everybody else out there. As the tire wear, as that drop off starts to get a little bit more even, maybe Hall can dip down to the apron. He's using the outside lane to maintain speed and position, but wanting eventually, when those times get closer, to get down to the apron to finish this run. Maybe Hunter Hall can turn this from a starting 30th position to a top 10. Behind him, here comes Novella, Wyatt Mickelson. He's blinking at me, running that 51. Kevin Kyle 9, and Craig Schroeder running the 904/56.
Kevin Kyle was involved in that little wreck with Stinson that seemed to have cost Stinson all of his speed. It's really been a struggle for that 60. Kyle looked to have hit it really a ton in that same incident, but I think he got away with it. He lost a few positions, but that number 29 still looking very, very healthy, looking good. Doesn't have Sim and Destroy logos on it, which is weird. But he has been able to recover from that incident, and he's still holding that thing in the top 10. And again, can't agree with you more about what Hunter Hall and Matt Novella are both doing. Hall on 0 tires and Novella on 2, holding strong, well within the top 10.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. If there's another caution, you know they're going to have the extra set to put on. Novella can put lefts on, and as we all know, left sides will give you good for about 10 laps here at Homestead, and that might be all Novella needs to make that run at the end. Meanwhile, outside lane still working for Applegate, as you can look at that last lap, actually a 10th slower than Lesko, but now drawing up even closer with a 10th faster. Looks like Lesko's playing games, though, as he moves up to give him a little dirty air. This isn't a James Bond Aston Martin. You don't have smoker oil, Nate.
Yep, he's been kind of inching up through 3 and 4 last time. He used the middle, and then that time he used the full, the top. Does Grant want this? He's going to try the bottom. He's going to go for the slide job.
Slide job, but crossover is the counter move by Lesko. Looking down low, lots of tire used by Applegate in that crossover attempt. Taps the wall once, but he's still rolling outside lane with speed, but not enough. It's Lesko's turn to slide and crossover by Applegate. Oh, we're watching heavyweights.
And I think we're going to have deja vu lap after lap until these boys can figure it out. But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Here comes another one. Oh, look at Lesko here. He's going to hold the bottom, go low. I don't know if he'll have the speed for a crossover. Yes, he will. Here we go, Mean Gene.
Wow, what a move. That was a hesitation. That was like a
Not showing your
feint.
hands. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great feint there by Lesko to delay that pass as neither driver showing their hand until the end. But now, again, he gets to the quarter, gets to the door, slips on by. You know who loves this? Tony Iverson.
Yeah.
He says, I'm just riding the apron, and I'm slowly creeping up on you two boys, making this game. All top 5 drivers running 33.5 right now, only separated by about 2 seconds back to Sully. Bollinger 1.1 behind them, and then Iverson just 0.5 of a second, half a second behind Lesko. Applegate now with position. Let's see if he can ride that rail for these final 21 laps.
And they're going to have to get by the lapped car, Michael Mata, right now. Mata's still dealing with damage from that earlier wreck. Interesting, similar to Walton earlier in this race, the second that Applegate gets the lead, he goes straight back to the bottom. Let's see what he does here. Looks like he's going to use the top by himself. 22 to go, Mean Gene. I'd be tempted to use that bottom if I was Applegate. But hey, the top is what has gotten you here. If it's not broke, why fix it? I just worry about it breaking in the near future.
I think he's already dropped all 5 cards. You've seen the turn.
Yep.
You've seen the river. There's nothing else you can do. He's all in. He's played the turn. Now he's waiting to see the river. There's no other play to make. He's pushed all of the chips onto the table. Unless there's a caution to change up the strat, I think Applegate's just going to go back and forth looking at what Lesko does. If Lesko goes low, he'll go low. Lesko will feint, I think, to throw off the line of Applegate, but nobody's as familiar with the entry on that outside as Applegate is.
I agree, and you see Applegate right now through 3 and 4 at least. He seems to be preferring the inside right now, but oh boy, really getting tight on exit there. You could visually see it. I think Lesko will likely get a little bit of a run there. Over around 5th, 6th place, you see Matt Novella still holding strong, but Kevin Kyle with those 4 tires starting to get that muscle and be able to show it. He's up to 6th place.
Yeah, and you know, Novella's not going to like that. That is a fierce competitor. I mean, you got to be being a Giants fan for that many years. Never say die. And he is trying to make that outside work. Grats on getting that new amazing coach up there in New York, by the way, Novella. Holding on with the 2 tires, you can see him losing another position potentially there as Mickelson taking a peek down at the bottom. The 51 on 4 freshies. Going to try to make the slide job. Cannot. Mata into the wall. That's John Beverly as well, still having a pretty decent run. Lots of battling. And speaking of battle, how about Bollinger sneaking around Iverson right there? Going to take over 3rd place. Tony did not battle him, but now hugging that apron. Iverson trying to make the inside work. Exit speed going to be on the side of the Dr. Pepper Toyota. Iverson shows the patience, keeps the tombstone in the passenger seat, and this is the battle for 3rd. Why not wait? Let him catch back up. You can see Colin's speed decent, but those 2 guys up front just taking turns. You're a 10th faster. I'm a 10th faster. And now it's Colin's turn to hug the apron. Great battling going on, but here comes Buddy Sully. Sully's quietly sneaking in.
Wow,
again,
yeah,
Buddy,
he
a
is.
season 3 champ, Buddy Sully, says, hey, I've knocked the rust off these wheels, and all you boys smell like predator. I'm the predator, you're the prey. Here comes Buddy.
And you see right there that Buddy putting in laps very close to the leader at Grant Applegate. And we've been seeing this all day. We talked about it a little bit earlier. When the run gets to this point where Buddy Sully is able to run by himself, use his lanes, he is saving tires and he's putting in consistent laps up there with anybody in the field right now. 17 to go is a lifetime here at Miami. Buddy Sully, I think a podium is very much within reach, and you never know what's going to happen between Lesko and Applegate. I personally would be surprised if that's over between those 2. So we'll have to see. Not to mention, you know Iverson doesn't like looking at that Dr. Pepper car in his windshield.
No, he wants to sneak on by. Those guys have been battling for 3 years. It's been those 2 fellas facing off. Other cast of characters has appeared around them, but these 2 guys have been the core of consistency in the top 5. And once again, putting on that show. Lovely to see the rookie Lesko, the second year and defending champion Applegate here. Buddy Sully back full-time. Kevin Kyle in 6th. He's a little bit back of that group, but top car in the next group, Kevin Kyle. He was in that Final Four last year. And also, congratulations, Kevin Kyle, in the Championship 4 of our Sunday Premier Cup broadcast with the Bonfire Race League. So anytime you got Kevin Kyle in a Next Gen Cup, you're going to get some competition.
And then also look at Sam Milliken. We talked a little bit about him not too long ago. He was a lap down for the majority of this race, not anymore, and he's battling for position, and a top 10 is very much in the cards. Another driver that just got to be so bummed out right now, Mean Gene, is Joseph Volpes. He got that caution, and the more this run's gone on, and especially now that we've stayed green for this long, man, I bet Volpes would have loved to have not been involved in that caution, because he would have thrown on 4 tires like he did anyway. And just a second ago, I was looking at my data, and I was like, why is Volpes not further up the field than he should be? A lot of these guys didn't take tires. It's because he was in the pits for over a minute, Mean Gene. He was fixing damage, and something tells me he didn't fix all of it.
No, Joe Volpes, remember, he did do the little spin job in that sympathy spin for Lucas Alves. Damage to that 98, and it just stuck back in the 10th position, trying to hold on. He's behind Schroeder, and then you can see the fierce battle between Sam Milliken and Eric Gambrell going on directly behind them as Hunter Hall just trying to hold on for position. Meanwhile, Iverson and Bollinger, this is not over.
Oh, not by a long shot, Mean Gene. Here goes Iverson to the inside, and I don't think, well, the walls are blue here, so maybe he'll get it mixed up if he's able to go for this slide job. He's going to slide up here. Plenty of room there for Bollinger. I mean, he talks so much about it. Iverson, he hasn't grown up in his interviews, but he's grown up a ton on the track, Mean Gene. Drives with so much maturity and so much patience now, but look at Bollinger trying to make it as thin as possible. Talk about a squeeze.
Wow, pinching down, using that middle lane you made reference to, all the way to the wall. Now it's Iverson's turn to say, I will pinch you right back. These two guys dueling for all the fans here. 11 laps to go. Third place not figured out by these two guys. Meanwhile, right behind him, 0.2 of a second faster, is 21 of Buddy Sully. Couldn't quite get into the draft of those two, but I think his tires not going to be quite as hot.
Iverson able to make the pass there. And I see Nate Lesko catching Applegate pretty rapidly. That was 0.5 last time. Oh my gosh, how different were those laps that time around? Let's see. Wow. Okay, Mean Gene, here we go. He's going to the inside already. I told you this isn't over.
No, Lesko gonna take a dive down. Can't make the move there. Just trying to get into the draft of Applegate. Use that extra momentum to pull up close to make a chance pass. Meanwhile, here comes the lapped car of Michael Mata. We saw him in earlier. Mata dives to the bottom, doesn't want a piece of championship action yet. Applegate, last lap was 0.2 of a second slower. Lesko on the apron, side by side, putting those tires to the test.
Wow.
9 laps to go.
So I'll tell you what I thought Lesko was doing. I thought he was just trying to dive it low, make Grant nervous, get him into that outside wall, right? Make him look to the bottom and think, how the hell is he so close to me? And he's gonna slam on the gas and straight in the wall. But then we saw the exit, and he was right there. And here we go again. He has drive off. Man, he is considerably faster.
Yep, he's at the quarter now. That's gonna force Applegate to use the outside. Grazes the wall, keeps momentum. Here we go. Will the 10 use the tire? He slides up. Oh, late crossover attempt. It's gonna be Applegate on the apron. Will he pinch Lesko? Tried.
You saw Lesko try not to give him an entry there. He tried to force him to the bottom. Applegate had none of it. He forced it. Oh my gosh. He forced Lesko high. They're touching. Lesko having none of that. A massive side draft put in the 14 by the 10. And here we go side by side through 1 and 2. Making contact already.
And he's into him. They're touching the wall on the radio. What are you doing? Meanwhile, Iverson says you can wreck him.
Do it. Is what Iverson's saying.
You got it. You got an angel on one side, that's Buddy Sully, and you got a devil on the other side. That's Iverson saying, put him in the wall. Applegate, let's go side by side. Applegate not willing to give it up, but that's going to be it right there. I think Lesko not quite clear. Applegate fighting.
Oh my gosh!
And they touch. They touch again.
That was ugly from the 14 of Applegate, Mean Gene. That was bad racing by Applegate right there. But Lesko not able, or really has nothing to say about it. Middle finger out the window of the 10 to Grant Applegate, and Grant cutting him a break there. That was interesting. I mean, you could tell right there, Mean Gene, that whole little battle right there, that you knew who was faster, right? And they knew who was faster. Grant Applegate was racing desperate.
He tried. He did everything he could. He threw everything, including the kitchen sink, out that window. But finally, Lesko takes over. Applegate 5 laps to draw back in and make one more attempt at this. Meanwhile, behind them, Iverson with a little bit quicker lap, but he still cannot draw close enough. He has pulled away from Colin. Tony has to be super proud of what he's doing here today on the grounds with these heavyweights, just throwing these haymakers in battle. Lesko inside, Applegate still trying to make that outside work. 1/10 of a second faster was Applegate. 4 laps to go, Zach.
They are so close. It still isn't over. Grant has the top figured out, and he has nothing to lose anymore. Who cares about the tires? Do whatever it takes to make that 14 go fast. That's exactly what Grant's doing. This is a massive run right here, Mean Gene. This might be enough.
Applegate on the outside, draws to the quarter, draws to the door as they come across the start-finish line. Applegate, will his tires hold this entry speed? Meanwhile, Lesko sends it down on the apron looking for the crossover. Exit speed is going to let Applegate get the crossover attempt. They touch bumpers. Lesko, Applegate battling into turn number 3. Oh, my word. And now look at Lesko in the middle, trying for the exit speed, looking for the crossover.
How did Grant Applegate do that? He has not made the bottom work all day, but he needs to with 2 to go. He makes a brilliant move on the inside and claims the lead from Lesko. And meanwhile, Mean Gene, they're pulling away from Iverson while doing on this, which is unreal. But here we go, 2 laps to go, and Lesko's loose!
Lesko wiggles a little bit, holds the car straight, falls into line behind Applegate. Applegate going to take the opportunity to come down onto the apron. One more lap after they pass this start-finish line. This race is about to be official. Applegate letting a little bit loose. This is it. White flag lap. Grant Applegate with the lead over Nate Lesko. We've seen them battle all day. Applegate on the outside. Lesko on the inside. Oh, he's not going to get him here. Zach, this next turn's going to be everything. Was it too early?
Yeah, it's going to be everything. Was that too early, though? Should he have done that in 3 and 4? We're about to find out. I think Grant's going to take the bottom. Yes, he will. Here we go, Mean Gene.
Lesko is at the bottom. Applegate into the middle. Exit speed, Applegate holding. Lesko fading up into the track. Air dragon, but it's gonna be Applegate at the line. What a finish! What a finish between the two.
Oh my God!
Tempers flared.
That one's got to hurt to lose, but that one's got to feel so damn good to win if you're Grant Applegate, and that was good stuff. I criticized Grant for the way he defended in the beginning, but the way he won that was picture perfect. What a win by Grant Applegate. And now, Mean Gene, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race and in this series, all up wins.
This is insane. We've seen a big 2. We've seen a big 3, but right now we're watching a big 4. Look at that, is Iverson. Lance Smith set him up.
The one time Iverson has a 0x probably.
Yeah, he gave him a tombstone right there. That is a beauty.
What a race, Mean Gene. We've seen closer. We've seen photo finishes. I don't know if we've ever seen a race for the win that good ever.
No, these two guys throwing it down at the end. And behind them, how about Iverson and Bollinger giving us that little taste? Buddy Sully finishing in 5th, creeping up. Every week here into week 4, we've seen Sully get closer to the front. closer to the front. Next week, these boys are going to do battle at Bristol, and don't be surprised if maybe that number 21 can sneak up and claim his first victory. Give us 5 winners in 5 weeks. Zach, what an amazing race here today. I'll tell you, all of this, of course, made possible by our amazing sponsors. Thank you so much to Eric Gambrell to be the name sponsor of the Steve Lewis 9 202.5 as Grant Applegate becomes the 4th winner. Big shout out to Fish Speed, Jordan Fisher, and his entire racing consortium as they continue to make us faster, make us better. Use of Garage 61. If you haven't checked it out, check him out. Fish Speed on Discord. KK Woodscapes. He makes trophies across the entire Vortex Racing Network umbrella, making trophies not just for league racing, but also fantasy as well as other venues. Check him out. KK Woodscapes. What an amazing race. There's only one thing left to do if you ask me, Zach.
Oh, I agree, man, Gene. I am excited to
Let's
talk to some of her feelings.
Let's pull him in. Let's pull him in while he's hot and spicy, right?
Get ready for some all-time things I write next to their names.
Oh yeah, we're gonna run a timer though. We can't let him go too long.
Oh God, I know. Do we start with?
No, we're bringing in Grant. I want to hear it. Oh, yeah. I want to hear it.
Let's do it.
Oh, I got to bring him in slow. He knows what's up. Grant Applegate, you got your ears on, brother.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh.